All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Please rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Go ahead and call the roll. We'll get started.
Trustee Spurling. Here. Trustee Lee.
Yes.
Trustee Heinz. Trustee Youngerman.
Here.
And Trustee Marisak.
All right, we do have a quorum this evening. That is awesome, by the way. It's not very common for us to have babies in here, so the more the merrier. I like it. Yes, more babies. All right, so we'll move on to public comment. 2-minute opportunity for any member of the public to address the board on any topic, unless you're on the agenda elsewhere. I'll give it just a brief second here if a baby would like to speak, but otherwise. All right, we'll move on to item B this evening, which is recognition of trustee Pete Heinz and trustee Stan Bond. So we'll do these independently. It has been our tradition, as I'm sure you're all aware, to acknowledge the outgoing board members. Unfortunately, neither of those two can be here with us this evening, but I think I speak for everybody up here and everybody in the audience. It was a tremendous honor to serve with both of those men for the number of years that we were here. I know they dedicated a lot to their community, and both of them were steadfast supporters of Montgomery and everything we do here. So with that, I would like to present, for Pete, if you guys want to come up. So as I'm sure everybody's aware, we have the papers out front that have names on that. So this is something we haven't really done before, but we had these made up for the
There's one in the back.
One will go in.
So we have this, we have one that we'll put out there, and then we have one you guys can take with you as well. So. I don't know if anybody else had anything they wanted to add. All right, thank you. All right, item C this evening is swearing in of 2 new officers. I'll let Chief give the introduction so I don't butcher anybody's name, and we'll go from there.
Tonight we're going to swear in 2 officers. We'll start out with Jesse Wanker. Please come on up. Jesse is here tonight with his wife Ebony and their 1-year-old twins, Katerina and Nicholas. Jesse comes from the Illinois Department of Corrections, where he worked for 4 years. He's graduated from Yorkville High School, studied criminal justice at College of Pedro Boston. He enjoys hanging out with his family in the village of Montgomery. So at this time, I would like to his wife up and his badge. You good? Oh, sorry. Would you like to swear him in first?
Sure, however you like.
Okay, well. Jesse did, both these individuals tonight are veterans.
How you doing, Jesse?
Jesse did serve 8 years in the National Guard, did some time in Egypt. So it's refreshing.
Stand right about there. All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jesse Lankert,
I, Jesse Lankert,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
duties of police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I don't know if I did that earlier.
That's awesome.
Made a picture of that one. Oh, got him.
Let's get a picture. You guys want to come up here for a picture? Chief can hold your. Hey, Chief, you want to come up for a photo? Sure. Yeah, come on, right here. Hi.
He's fascinated by you.
I know. That makes one person. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, our next officer is Scott Andrew Mines. Scott lives in Plano. He's married, his wife Kirsten, daughter Addison. He just happened to be a little bit sick tonight, so they couldn't make it. Previously, Scott worked for Cook County Sheriff's Office for about 2.5 years in the Corrections Department. Another veteran, he's an Army veteran, served as an infantryman in Afghanistan. Grew up in Aurora, currently continues education, college of Page, criminal justice. His free time, he loves spending time with his wife and daughter and visiting the zoo. So this is Scott Mines.
All right. How you doing? Good. All right, you want to raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Scott Mine,
I, Scott Mine,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duty of police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And since Scott's wife can't be here, Deputy Chief Armando Sanders will stick him with the bench.
No laughing. Nicely done.
All right, and you certainly don't have to stick around for the whole meeting, but you can. Otherwise, we'll take a second here so you guys can go ahead. Thanks for coming, appreciate it. All right, the next item on the agenda, item D, is proclamation designating May 5th through 11th of 2019 as Municipal Clerks Week. And the proclamation is in your packets, so with that, I entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Marisak.
Heck, yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
And a thank you to Penny.
And then item E is another proclamation designating May 6th through 11th as in 2019 as Economic Development Week. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Go ahead.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
It's odd that the clerks get a full week
Yes.
and the EDC only gets part of a week. So they're different dates.
weird.
That's all right, though.
Thank you to Shar.
All right. With that, we'll move on. The consent, there's 4 items this evening. I'll entertain a motion. The minutes of the village board meeting of April 8th, accounts payable through April 11th, request from the VFW to hold Buddy Poppy Days on Friday, May 17th and Saturday, May 18th. And the last item is request from the VFW to close River Street on September 8th.
So moved.
Second.
That's early enough.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
That carries 4-0. Thank you. Items for separate action this evening, we have a waiver of bid and award a contract to American Road Maintenance for the 2019 Shared Use Path Seal Coat. Pete?
Thank you, Village President. We're requesting waiver of bid on a project for maintenance of our bike paths. We have moved to using a product called GSB 88, which is proprietary, and it replaces the conventional coal tar sealant that is typically used for seal coat. Now, we still use coal tar sealants in some of our existing parking lots, but where we have new pavements, we like to move to a little more environmentally friendly product. And this GSB 88 has served us well over the last 4 years. The only drawback is that currently there's only one person that's really providing that product in our service area. So we met with them and got favorable pricing within our budget. So rather than going out for bid, and we've bidded for the last 3 years and only gotten one bid, so we're reasonably sure we're only going to get another one bid. So this time we're asking for waiver of bid and approval of the contract. They did extend a discount to us as part of a returning customer program, so we're happy about that. And the pricing was such that we're able to do our base project and one of the alternatives. So be happy to answer any questions on that.
Any questions, Pete? The waiver of bids, so we will need all 4 trustees to vote in favor. Did you?
This is a budgeted item, correct?
It is. The budget was $34,300. The total amount of the base bid and the alternate bid is $32,347.75.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
And Trustee Lee.
Yes.
4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B for separate action, we have an intergovernmental agreement with Kane County for animal control. Chief?
Yes, before you have the agreement, Kane County currently picks up our stray dogs in Kane County. The agreement is the exact same agreement we already have in place. We are just renewing that agreement for a 1-year period with the option to renew 2 more after that. We like the service, it serves us well, and I ask that you pass that. Any questions, be happy to answer.
Question for you, Chief. The fees that were charged by Kane County, are those passed on to the dog owners if they collect their dog? The fees were charged. Are they getting covered by the person who owns the dog is the question?
No, ma'am, not currently. It's rare that someone is picked up the dog. Once in a while they do. Kane County charges them for their service, so
Okay,
the person's kind of getting double billed, so.
okay, thank you.
And as you recall, this is the contract that Metro West has been coordinating and negotiating on behalf of all the municipalities in Kane for the last couple of years, so no changes this year. Any other questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And Trustee Youngerman.
That carries 4-0. Thank you. Last item for separate action, we have ordinance 1854, amending Chapter 1 of the Village Code to establish Section 1-11. This is adopting a system of local adjudication for building code and nuisance violations. This is first reading, and I think Attorney Anderson's going to give us a summary.
Thank you, Mr. President. So you already have in place an administrative adjudication system for towing violations for vehicles. What we are doing here is we're expanding it. So at present, what we do is tows go to the administrative system, which you also created a number of years ago in conjunction with Sugar Grove. Hinckley's been a little part of it, and North Aurora's been a little part of it, but it's fundamentally been your two communities. The good idea on that is that you save money because you're splitting all the costs, we're the prosecutor, and we move forward. We are now bringing into that same system things like code enforcement violations, building code, property maintenance, nuisance, those sorts of things. Normally today, those have to go through the court system, which is typically long, more cumbersome, and usually it will end up costing you money as opposed to saving you any money because of all the fees that you have to pay. Now we're pulling it into this system where you pay no fees. And in fact, any monies that you get as a result of this are 100% yours, other than the expenses you already incur in that system. So we're not adding anything to your cost, but we're actually going to generate potentially some money for you. Although, as always, the village has always adopted a system of compliance on issues with these things, trying to encourage people to fix it, not to fine them. That won't change, but to the extent that there are fines, you will receive 100% of them instead of a portion of them. This used to be a non-viable system because there used to be another step involved. The state required that that after you got through the system, you'd still have to go to court to enforce it. But there was a very wise and knowledgeable representative a couple of years ago who fixed that. And so now the system actually works very, very well, which is why you're seeing a number of these ordinances pop up. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Any questions at all?
All right, thank you, sir.
I
This
had
is first reading, so go
I
ahead.
had a question, but I got confused during that responsible and reasonable part. Where,
Sorry to confuse you with reasonable.
if there is a home that we aren't necessarily going after because, if there's fine issues or something like that, and we're not necessarily going after them, are we more apt to go after them now, knowing that it will cost us less and it should be a more efficient, swifter process?
My expectation is that the decision by the staff to pursue a violation isn't based on money typically. I mean, maybe in rare circumstances, but for the most part, it's based on whether or not it rises to the level of a violation. So my initial gut answer is probably not, but at the same time, knowing that it is a little bit more of an efficient system, maybe there'll be some that are maybe on the borderline that might push it
Okay.
to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's the municipal judge or officer, and how many times does this thing meet, you think?
It's once a month. It actually meets at the Village of Sugar Grove. That's where we agreed to put it. Honestly, I don't know who the it's not a judge. It's just a hearing officer.
Yeah.
And I can't recall his name right now, but that's just my old age showing.
And a number of other communities do this. I think
Oh, yeah.
Oswego has been doing this for a little while.
Geneva, St. Charles, Batavia has a system like this. Like I said it somewhat in jest, but since the state redesigned the system, it's becoming more and more utilized.
Yeah. All right.
Well, it frees up the court system too, right?
It does,
The court's not tied up with.
with this sort of issue.
St. Charles, Batavia, and Oswego are all home rule, correct?
St. Charles is, Batavia is, I believe, and I can't speak to the other,
Okay.
but Geneva is not. This is not a home rule issue.
Okay, thank you.
All right. This is first reading, so we'll take action at a future meeting.
If you could pass along our appreciation to the wise and kind soul that helped forge this forward down in Springfield, we'd appreciate it.
I will, you may consider it done.
Thank you.
be okay to put on consent?
Yeah, you can put this on consent. Any objection?
No.
All right. Thank you. All right, the last item we have for discussion is, or the only item for discussion, is the website redesign, which launched earlier today. So with that, prepare to be wowed. It says, look at the link here, it says Montgomery,
Montgomery,
the Y.
that's right. As President Brawley said, it did go live this morning, so I just wanted to show it to you. We did send out a press release to let, so we could get the word out. Some things you'll see here, the menus are a little cleaner than they were before. Before you had kind of the windows where you'd choose one, then the next, and the next, where they were layered. Or now you've really just got one layer of topics up here, and then you can drill down as you need to. Again, we have the buttons here for things that we found people were using most often. And then also the quick links to cover some of those items also. And then the news and the calendar will keep updated of what's going on. So it's, I think, a much more user-friendly, much cleaner than our website was before. And also, it's supposed to work much better on mobile devices than the other one did. It's optimized for that. So again, just want to show, hope people will go in and play around some and see what's there.
All right, thanks. Looks awesome. All right, with that, anything new or unfinished you'd like to mention?
I have one item, please. Just a reminder, this Thursday evening, the Rotary Club of Montgomery is hosting a cyberbullying and internet safety talk. There is a retired Detective Woodsaki from Naperville who is giving the talk. It's geared toward 3rd through 6th graders and their parents. It will be hosted at Sugar Grove. Hold that thought. 6:30 to 8:30. Thank you.
Awesome. Anything else?
I'm sorry, Wabanzi. I did it again. Wabanzi Community College in Sugar Grove.
In Sugar Grove.
Yeah,
See,
go
you
ahead.
were-
Try and find it in Sugar Grove.
Yeah, you were accurate. Awesome, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate it. All right, I won't give too much time for you to come up with anything. All right, future meetings. Next village board meeting is Monday, May 13th at 7 PM in this room. We'll be hopefully swearing in our newly elected, Dan Geyer. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the employment of an employee and litigation where the Village of Montgomery finds such action is probable or imminent.
So moved.
Second?
Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
And Trustee Lee.
Yes.
All right, thank you.